So here's my advanced button controller app. I'm going to go ahead and open it up so you can see what the initial home screen looks like. Here you can see at the top the 4 buttons I already have configured, and of course a new button device mapping option here where you can set up a new device. The device page is very simple. It expands depending on what option you choose. So let's go ahead and choose the button device, and I have my mini motes and my picos. So if I choose pico here, you'd see I have the 5 buttons available to configure for the pico. And if I switch it over to a mini mote, it should automatically switch to the 4 buttons, as you can see here. If you have a device that does not report the number of buttons it has, there's a way you can edit the device handler. You can ask about it on the forums, or you can go into advanced config and manually set the number of buttons that you'd like. So if I choose 8, I now have 8 buttons to choose from. And let's go ahead and back that out. So now we have the 4 that we can choose from, and I'll go ahead and edit a button, configure a button, so we can see what that looks like. At the very top here, you can see that it lists the button type and what button you configure with a picture. Makes it a little bit simple to find and remember what you're working on. And then a list of all the collapsed control options that you have. Instead of a big long list to scroll through, it's a bit easier to navigate here and find what you want to control. So let's go ahead and set up something. Toggle on off when pushed. We'll do bedroom fan light. So wait for it to refresh, and it shows that you have the bedroom fan light. Let's hit done. And now back on the main device page, it shows you on button 1 that it has been configured to toggle on off the bedroom fan light. So you can easily see what each button you have configured and what it's configured to do, instead of having to go into the button to look through and scroll down a list of options. Beyond that, you have some advanced config options here, the same button override for the number of buttons, and then we can go ahead and hide the hardware specific details, which would hide that picture and description that was at the top. I put that option to remove it in case you have an older phone with a lower resolution and you need that real estate. You don't want to have a big picture and a description at the top. You can also go in here and switch back to the old mode where it expands everything. So if I go into button 2, and now you can see that it has all the different options fully expanded. The only benefit of that is that you don't have to wait for that refresh. Not a big deal to me, but in case you prefer the old option, it's available for you. And as you can tell at the very top here, when I chose button 2, that top option changes, and you can see that you're configuring button 2. If I go into the Pico like this, you can see that the option at the top will change and the picture will change, showing you what button you're configuring. That's especially beneficial for the Picos because the button numbering isn't very intuitive. Button 1 is the top, button 2 is the bottom button, button 3 is the circle, and button 4 and 5 are the up and down. So pretty helpful to get a picture of what you're working on instead of memorizing what button number matches what button. If I go ahead and back out now to the main list, there's the user's guide. Has some details as to what's changed, what was added, all the things you can control, and some quirks for various controllers, like the home steer. This is just a copy and paste from Dalek's Button Controller Plus, where there's some quirks with the button 5 and 6, and it details it here. And then the Lutron Pico requirements, since they're not going to just work out of the box, you would have to use NJ Schwartz's SmartApp and device handler. Pretty awesome. I'd definitely recommend you check it out if you have a Lutron Pico. And that's it for the app. Any other details, any questions, please ask on the forums, and we'll happily try to put any additional features or answer any questions you have. Thanks.